Hey guys, it's Alicia, and I wanted to do a video just giving my 5 tips, or my top 5 tips when deciding to go to a salon. I have been natural for over 5 years. I don't even keep up with it anymore. I'm just being honest. It's over 5 years, 5-6 years now, and I recently started going to a hair salon, and I do have a hairstylist. I started at the end of last year. I believe December was my first time going to her, November or December, and it has been a great experience for me, but I do know that it's not always that great experience. So I do get a lot of questions as far as like, well, how did you find her? You know, what do you do? What is it like? So I just wanted to go through and kind of give my tips. And let me tell you, these are just a few things that help me. They're not going to work out in every situation, but I do believe doing a few of these things will at least, you know, help the situation. You know, the biggest fear when going to a hairstylist, especially once you become natural and you've gotten used to, you know, doing your own hair and you know what you like, you know what you don't like, you know, it can be a little scary to go to a salon, especially with the reputation that a lot of salons and stylists have as far as the way they treat black women hair, you know, the chopping, just not caring. So my first tip is research, research, research. That's how I found my lovely lady, Tiffany Milton. Hey girl. Seriously, that's how I found her. I went on to, first of all, I did a lot of Googling, and I went on to Yelp, and as far as researching, you know, salons in my area, or in Houston, because I live in Richmond, Texas, and I was willing to travel to Houston. I don't care, 30-40 minutes, which I do travel like 30 minutes. And a big thing that I was looking for was a salon with a website, because personally for me it made me feel comfortable knowing that they took that extra time, so you're serious about your business. And another great thing about the websites is if they do have a website, they have their stylist listed, and they have like a brief description of what this person does, their specialty. And on the website for the hair salon, it did have a list of the stylists that work at the shop, and it had what they specialized in, and it had their pictures, which is another great thing, to be honest. You know, it was great to be able to see a face. You know, you can kind of draw like, I can kind of get along with this person, you know, that smile, the way they look. So that caught my attention with her, and I love that her description talked about, you know, her specialty was healthy hair and helping you come up with a plan as far as, you know, healthy hair growth. Oh, another thing that she had was as far as helping you create a regimen, a routine for your hair, and those were things that was important to me. And so I'm like, okay, so that drew me in. So number 1, do your research. Number 2, meet them. Don't be afraid to meet them, you know, a consultation before you actually get your hair done. Now, when I went for my first appointment, that was the same day that I got my hair done, but she did do a consultation. I mean, she looked through my hair, she examined it, she checked to see what kind of state it was in, and then she asked me questions. She wanted to know as far as how I had taken care of my hair. Like, we literally had a conversation before she ever did anything to my hair. So don't be afraid to, you know, you don't have to commit when you call and make that appointment. Go because you want to meet them, you want to talk to them, you want to see if you even like the person. I don't know about you, but I don't want someone doing my hair who I don't like. Number 3, so once you've met them and you've started a routine, just make sure that you come prepared, knowing, you know, what you want done to your hair, what you don't want done to your hair. And if you know that there's something that you don't want somebody doing to your hair that you prefer to do, you know, do that. So for example, detangling. It can be, if you've detangled your hair for years, especially like I have, you are going to be very picky when it comes to somebody detangling your hair, because more than likely it's going to be a different process, and that you may be a little on edge about that part, like, oh my gosh, why is she combing my hair like that? So I would recommend making sure that when you get to your appointment, like little things like just making sure your hair is detangled, do a hot oil treatment before you get there, you know, because to me, my hairstylist that I go to, I'm not depending on her to, you know, do this magical work with my hair. I go to her once a month and I'm taking care of my hair the rest of that time. So it's kind of just like a, you know, I go for like my deep conditionings, my protein treatments, or that just a little break. Number 4, have realistic expectations. Don't go to a stylist because you're expecting a miracle. Again, as I said, I don't go to my stylist because I'm depending on her to have healthy natural hair. Can't go to a stylist expecting for her to make just all of a sudden I'm going to this salon, I'm going to this hairstylist and she's about to make my hair so wonderful and amazing and now it's going to be growing like a weed, it's going to be down my back like I've always dreamed. You know, a hairstylist is not, they're not a miracle worker. You know, they can educate you a little bit, but then also as much as you can educate yourself. So to me, I kind of see her as like my little hair teammate. All right, and I saved the most important one for last, which to me is communicate. Don't be afraid to say what you want. And I feel like communicate has been in all of my tips that I've named here. Like, don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to say stop. Don't be afraid to say I don't like that. And if somebody is completely out of hand when you go to them and you thought you liked them but they started doing something that made you completely uncomfortable, don't be afraid to get up out that chair and leave. Honestly, that has been the thing that I really love with my hairstylist, because when I come to each of my appointments, I mean, she asks me how my hair has been doing. Have you noticed shedding? How are your curls? Because she flat irons my hair. If I say, okay, where I feel like it's loosening in this area, okay, then she knows, well, all right, we're gonna put a little bit more heat protectant here. We're gonna go a lot lighter on the heat with this section. You know, different things like that. Just communicating, talking. Even as little as, where do you wanna wear your part today? You know, how tight do you want your curls? In the end, it's your hair. You're the one who has to walk around looking like that. So don't be afraid to speak up. And not only you have to walk around looking like that, that green is coming out of your pocket or you're swiping, whatever, it's your money. So you definitely don't want to be scared to say what you want and say what you don't want. And if that person is not okay with you communicating that to them, then that's definitely not someone you want in your head, in your hair, head, anywhere near you. Okay. All right. So those were just a few quick tips. I hope that it helps somebody who may be thinking about going to a hairstylist, going to a salon for the first time in years, or maybe for your first time ever. Any questions that you may have for me, leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Bye, guys. And not only do you have to walk around looking like that, you have to go home with, well, what? I'm sorry, I still have myself. You said, how can you help phone? Basically, can you help us find a parking space?
Couldn't hear you. Try again.
Can you help us find a parking space?
No.
Because that's what we need. No?
Cancelled.
Exactly.
Good topic for us to talk.